Welcome back to CFB Nation. I'm your host, Nino Brown. We got an exclusive interview with Cedric Franklin tonight. He's going to be talking football, life, growing up, and everything else. Cedric, how are we doing tonight?
Good. How about you?
I can't complain, my guy. Like I said, end of the week. It's Friday. We're going to talk some football, close it out.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to hit you with a couple rapid fire questions, get you loose. And like I said, then we'll talk about some football. So, right off the rip, top track in the headphones right now.
I gotta go back at it by Gunna.
Okay, all right. He's just dropped some new stuff, so I'm feeling you. All right. What's your all-time favorite snack?
Probably the Nerds gummies, the
The blue bag or the red bag?
the blue bag.
Yeah, the blue bag's top notch. I'm with it. All-time favorite athlete, non-football.
I'm gonna have to say LeBron.
I had a feeling it was coming. I get that one a lot too. You grew up in, you're from Georgia and everything, so you're going Georgia. You're going Georgia Tech.
Oh, Georgia.
All right. And then I ask everybody this question. Breakfast cereal 101. You only get one more bowl of cereal that you can ever have. What are you rocking with?
Captain Crunch.
All right. I feel, berries or no berries?
The berries.
Yeah. All right. Now let's talk some football. You grew up in Marietta, Georgia, right? So
I actually grew up in Middleton.
okay. All right. So what's it like growing up there and in Georgia as a football player and as a fan of the game?
Um, I'd say it's real competitive because everybody in Georgia, though, most teams in Georgia are like pretty good. And, it's a pretty good football state. So everybody, like all the top recruits, um, a lot of the top recruits grew up like playing football, or you grew up playing against them, with them, all of that.
Right.
So, it's a real competitive environment. It's also fun though, because it's like you go on visits or such and such, and you might see somebody you grew up with, and you're like, oh, like you here with me, like we
Yeah. You separated, your journey separated, but then you guys come back together when you go on a visit, or maybe even commit somewhere, whatever it may be. So that's cool.
there.
All right, I know it's been a rough few years for the Dirty Birds, but are you a Atlanta Falcons fan, or you got another team that you like?
Actually, not an Atlanta Falcons. I like the Bucks and the Chiefs, and most people might call me a bandwagon, but some of my family is from Kansas City, and like I grew up, my dad, like I grew up around them, so they like the Chiefs, and I was like, shoot. And then Tampa is because most of my mom's side of the family is from Tampa.
Okay.
I was born there, but like I moved here, so you know, um, obviously you gotta go with the Bucks every time.
When you live, I get you. When you're somewhere and you're rooting for a team, on root somewhere you live in local. I'm with it. Now, who's your all time favorite Buck?
That's a hard question.
You like Winfield at all? I know you guys, play the same position.
I do actually. I do.
All right, and then and now Chief, who's your all time favorite Chief?
I mean, if we're being honest, it's probably Jamal Charles.
Okay. Hey, that man, two ACLs, tore him, came back both times, went over 1,000 yards. So
Still a dog.
yeah, absolute. He's an alpha dog for sure. All right. You play for the Kell Longhorns. You guys went 10-2, right, in the Georgia 5A division, which included the second round 34-7 playoff loss. Now, talk to us about that game. In your opinion, what went wrong? Because you guys are coming off back-to-back dubs.
Personally, I feel like we were locked in, we were ready to play. It's not like they were like blowing us out the whole game. It was 10-7 most of the game.
Okay.
In the fourth quarter, last couple minutes, QB is playing with a broken hand most of the game. Our linebacker, our 4-star, he's out of the game by that point, his shoulder. And, of course, they running the ball. And we had to play a couple of young players. And they stepped up to the occasion, I can't lie. But, like, at the end of the game, I guess we just didn't have enough gas in the tank to keep going. And then we were like, we had a couple injuries.
Right.
And it really hurts you when you forced to, like, throw in somebody to the game that's not completely ready. But, like, they stepped up, but they weren't like ready to play at that level at that pace yet. So
yeah,
I feel like nothing really, like I can't really say nothing went wrong like personally as a team, we weren't fighting on the sideline. We weren't down on each other. We were basically loving on each other. It's just like some stuff is out of your control, such
Right.
as Cedric.
You can't control injuries, and like you said, but in a positive way, they got that experience in a big game. So now coming in the next year, they're gonna be ready to eat. So
I can
it's
say
always
the young players that we threw in this year, they gonna ball.
they got that experience. Now they're ready to go. You get that taste of defeat. Nobody likes that. So
No,
this season you played DB safety for Kell. You totaled 39 tackles, 18 solo, 7 pass breakups, 2 fumble recoveries, and a tackle for loss. You also played a little wide receiver on top of that. But what was the highlight memory for you that sticks out from the season?
I'd have to say either after the Alatuna game, or no, actually it was the Sprayberry game. You know, everybody's watching. It is like everybody's there. People were like lined up on the end zone, last play stop.
Oh wow!
Stop it! Everybody just starts rushing the field. It was pretty hype. And then like obviously the fans get into it. So like I made a play, or somebody almost made a play on me, and the fans start chanting my name, saying such and such and such and such. And then the next I go back and make a play, and it's like now you're into it, and you know the energy's flowing, and I just feel like that game is probably my favorite memory.
As soon as you made that play, you was plugged in. You was ready to rock.
Yes, sir.
All right. Who is an NFL or collegiate player or players that you study to help better your craft?
I'd say Davon Witherspoon. Like the way he triggers to the ball, like watching his film, he's just a real aggressive player. Like he plays with speed, intensity, and that's like the type of player I want to be in. And his technique is really good. So like watching him definitely helps me better myself.
All right. So are you a in the face at the line of scrimmage type DB?
I'd say I am. You know, there's cases where I wouldn't limit myself because to be honest, yeah, I like to be physical up front, but like at the end of the day, I can play everything and pretty much be comfortable with it. Like nothing. It's like I don't really have any. I'm not gonna say I don't have any weaknesses, but like I don't have any like real. Okay, he can't play off man or he can't press. Like I can pretty much play everything, but if I had to pick like one technique to play, it's definitely gonna be press. All be up in your face, get to play aggressively.
Yeah. All right. So you're aggressive now. Now, if you had to line out wide at the slot, roam, where would you rather be? Ooh, I gotcha.
I'd say outside.
All right.
Playing in the slot is pretty fun because you know it's just like you're going shifty, fast receivers.
Get them twitch. Gotta get them twitch.
Play receivers, but playing outside is like different type of game. For me personally, like I usually play on the way sideline, so like hearing them while I'm outside, you know, hearing them, you know, people are gonna talk to you at the end of the day. You can't let it get in your head, but it's just like fun hearing them and getting to be competitive and such on the outside. So.
You also gotta love it when you're playing lockdown and they're still chirping. You ain't even got to say. You just kind of look over like, "Come on, dog!" Like
exactly. Like
they got no receptions. I got 6 pass breakups. Why are you talking? You know?
Yes, sir.
But it's like motivation, right? That it just keeps the fuel going for the game. You don't even need it because you're already balling, but it just keeps you like, all right, I'm gonna keep showing you.
Yeah.
All right. He had 28 offers from schools such as Boston College. I'm a New England guy. Boston College is, is at the heart for me. Coastal Carolina, Missouri, USF, UConn, UMass, Liberty, Virginia, and more.
Yes.
What ultimately made you choose Virginia?
I feel like it's definitely the staff, like, and the way they build relationships. You know, a lot of schools say that building relationships is just part of the recruiting process, but like it's also part of developing me as a person. Like when I went on my visit, it's like, okay, we're gonna talk football. Like obviously, I'm right. That's what we're gonna talk about. But I'd say I went up there to the visit and came back a better person. And I feel like just having talks with Coach Elliott and what he's building there, and being around Coach Cox and being around the players is just like like I love what they're building there, and the message stays the same throughout the whole program. You know, some programs, this person might not agree with this person, but they're gonna do it just because the head coach said do it. But like, they're everybody, everybody has the same exact message, and you know, you come there, and it's like nothing but love. Like it's just the program is being built, and like Coach Elliott is bringing it back to where it needs to be, and you know, I really have faith in what he's building up there, and just like I said, when I went up there, I came back a better person. And that's just having a good talk with him. Like I'm sitting in his office. We may have talked a little bit of football, but majority of the talk was about me as a person and like how I can be better as a person instead of just how I can be better as a football player or them telling me how great of a football player I am. Like they helped me improve and build. And I know that even if I never played a snap of football there, I would come back a better person and come back, you know, not come back, but like go on in life and be successful just off the stuff that I learned there and the culture there.
The advice, the knowledge, this that was that something that touched your heart, and it you can go from there. And it seems like it was a family environment from what I'm grasping what you said at Virginia. Now what was it like to be able to pick the brains of current players Cohen King and Tavion Kyle?
I feel like it was pretty good. Like uh, just some of the questions they asked when they were getting recruited kind of stuck with me, and it was like, okay, well, I never really asked that question when I was getting recruited, but like now that I'm thinking about it, like these are some good questions, and just talking to them about how playing at the next level is, and you know how the transition is from high school to college, and
Right.
etc. It was pretty good.
All right. It's like when you got guys that are close to your age that can have been going through something that you went through, and and then they're just you think you're all locked in what you got to do, and then, like you said, they ask a question, you're like, oh, I didn't even think about that. It makes you opens your brain, opens your mind a little more, and then now you're going to the next level. So they'll be you'll be able to piggyback off that and then talk to them and just expand off it. So I love it.
Yes, sir.
Um, did the success of DC John Rutsky at Air Force play a factor in the decision at all? I mean,
It
he had the Falcons were third overall in 2020. They only allowed 15 points a game. So I know you seem to be like a lockdown guy. That's got to be something that was like a neon sign for you.
it was. It definitely was because like just knowing that a coach like had the success before, he's not like coming off a bad season or whatever. Like
Right.
he had the success where he was, and he came and expects to have it at a new place. And then I personally like went to a Georgia Tech game and watched them play against Georgia Tech, and I'm watching them play defense, and I'm like this was before I had any offers, but
Mm-hmm.
it stuck with me. Like the game wasn't high scoring. It was like I think like 15 like 9 or something. It just wasn't like high scoring. And to me, everybody wants to see big play, but to
Right.
me, watching them play defense and watching them get after the ball and watching the way they fly, it's just like yeah, I want to play for this guy.
Yeah, I feel you. You were like, I can do this. This is something I can see myself doing here before anything that even come to fruition. You were like, I can do this. This is what I like.
There.
All right. Now I got two last questions I'm going to ask you. This one, I'm going to close it out with something off football. But what's one thing that people don't know about Cedric Franklin II?
I'd say I'm actually kind of like a nerd in a way. Like I like the code. I like to, develop games and stuff like that. Like that's kind of
Okay.
yes, sir. And that's
Okay. I like that.
mine too. Like that's my thing off the field. And, it's like okay, it's cool to play football and whatever, but seeing things like off the field and you know being able to build your brain, like that's what I
Mm.
say. Like it's just so many things that you can do off the field, and so many things that you can do other than football. And I feel like myself, I love to get into that type of stuff, and I also just like it was kind of cool. Like I see my friends do it, and I was like, hey, like I really want to do this too, and I kind of got into it.
I'm gonna say, man, just from the talk that we've just had, um, you seem like a cerebral player. You seem like you know, always looking for the next thing. You know, you're never just stuck in the moment. Always looking ahead for the next step, the next thing you need to do to keep it going. Yeah, I can see great things in your future because the way you want to be outside this. I'm assuming coding and stuff is what you're going to go towards in your major when you go to school.
Actually, it was either graphic design or law, and that was one thing. Like my mom used to have me in like little debate clubs and stuff like that, and it was pretty cool to me. And like I'd say I'm pretty good at like being able to get my point across or etc. So and I'm also good at like reading, writing, and etc. So I feel like either law school or graphic design. Like that's the way I want to go.
All right. You got a lot of options, a lot of open lanes, man. Your future is very, very bright. You said you like coding, you like games. So, what's your all-time favorite game before we close it out?
Oh, NCAA.
Oh, you excited for the comeback? I'm hearing that it's going through no matter what with the boycott. They're gonna push it through. So,
Yes, sir.
we're gonna get a new version. Everybody's been waiting for a long time.
Hope so.
Cedric, I really appreciate you taking time out and doing this interview with us. It's been a pleasure. I learned a lot about you these last couple minutes here talking about stuff outside of football. I learned a lot about you, and I did my research about your game before this interview. But this was nice. I'd love to circle back, stay in touch in maybe like 6 months, see
Yes,
how
sir.
everything's going, and bring you back on.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
No problem. I appreciate you coming. I know you're a super busy guy. We had to reschedule whatever, and I said I gotta have him. I want him on, so I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You have a good night, my man.
You too.
Later.